What up? My name is Brad. Welcome back to Dragon Ball Legends. Today we're going to be talking about every single Ultra that's in the game. Looking at everything from their art, to how they impacted the meta, to just frankly how cool they are. How are they going to age? Just everything. I'm not going to go crazy in depth to their kits, because to be honest, most of them are kind of either unusable or doo-doo. That's everything in Legends. Most units are just not that good. And that's okay. It is what it is. If you enjoy the content on this channel, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Bradical YT. If you're excited for Sparking Zero, I'd definitely say subscribe, because I'm going to go insane when that game comes out. Without further ado, let's get in. Let's have all the Ultras that are in Dragon Ball Legends. Starting out with a banger. Didn't realize I didn't have Super Saiyan Goku fully soul boosted. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think I'm ever going to use him again. He could Zenkai twice and get a unique ability, and I don't think I'll ever use him. But if we're talking pure art, and when this dude came out, it was pretty damn hype. I'm not going to act like it wasn't. He was a little bit usable when he very first dropped. Was an entirely different game back then. I mean, we're talking this was what? 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? He might have even come out 3 years ago, for all I know. He's cool. He's got a cover change, which was always pretty cool. His intro is pretty sick. I can't show you the ink art of each of these Ultras, strictly because, for whatever reason, I get copyrighted on some of them, so that's fun. I like that. His stats realistically aren't that bad, but he just suffers from being old and being free to play. Any units that are free to play, it's tough. We'll see. They could make a resurgence, because we'll get to Omega in, like, you know, right after we talk about Vegeta. We'll get over to Omega Shenron, and they gave him his unique ability that now he has endurance. So there's possibility for these really old ones to come in and do something, but 20% to strike damage just doesn't do anything for you. One or more battle members, you restore your ki by 20. Those just aren't, they're just not with what the game can do nowadays. I mean, you look at his kit right there, that's everything. And that's like half of one of Broly's abilities, or half of one of UI Goku's abilities. So, as much as he's cool, his art is fire. His art is so good. It's just, he's old. What do you want? I also don't have Vegeta fully soul boosted, so ignore those videos I made years ago about these units, because I didn't even have him soul boosted. Again, phenomenal art, dude. Okay, so Ultras, you'll notice when we'll get to the LF video after this one, obviously. LFs they just don't look as cool here, but obviously they have their LF. Ultras just look sick, but I can't do anything with this besides look at it. In the moment when he came out, it wasn't really weird to get a Dirty Fireworks Vegeta, because it was kind of like, okay, Goku, now Vegeta, they're both on Namek, and then they released Omega Shenron, and they've never touched free-to-play Ultras again, so I have no idea what their goal is. He's always been pretty mid, to be honest. Even when he came out, he wasn't terrible. He's got strike change, cover, his animations are pretty on point. Most Ultras are, and that's one thing that all Ultras have in common, is that their animations are just straight up on point, let alone their art. I mean, just look at him right here. Like, it's so clean. Like, it's just sick. But, yeah, I mean, he was kind of doo-doo when he came out. It wasn't terrible. Like I said, he really wasn't that bad. But you can tell how old he is just based on having Frieza, Saga Z, and Saiyan. Totally covered. At least he does have blast attack and defense. God, I can't use some of the old units where they just give you strike attack. You're like, dude, just strike attack for hybrids. Okay, cool. It's so hard to use those old units. Short zone substitution count, 50% damage inflicted. You can see he got a little bit, more love than Goku did, because Goku got all the 20% and everything, just very low percentages. He's good. Art is amazing. For whatever reason, I like Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. Like, his attack is called Dirty Fireworks on Planet Namek. When he blows up Kui, I think it's Kui, because Pui love Dragon Ball. Pui's in the Buu Saga. Kui is on Namek, I believe. I could have that mixed up. I think I had that mixed up. I think Pui. I don't know, man. He got blown up by Dirty Fireworks. All right, we're going to talk about his equip first, but Omega Shenron, man. This equip... So I don't want to say Omega is, like, very, very, very good. But he's 100% usable. And that is a lot of things that, number one, free-to-play units, let alone like almost 3-year-old units, cannot say that they are pretty damn usable. I mean, his team is thriving right now with GT. Even regeneration, it's usable with like Kid Buu and stuff. You can make it work. Green Omega Shenron, Rage Shenron. They gave this man endurance off an equip. I think what we've seen with Omega's Plat and then Kaioken Goku, we'll get to him. I don't have Kaioken at 7 stars, so I haven't used his Plat. But what we've seen with them is equips can do anything. They can quite literally do anything. I don't think any of us ever thought, oh, they'll give endurance to a unit through an equip. They can do it. Like, they can 100% pop that and boom, you got your Omega Shenron. Just bring me to the character list, please. Come on, Legends. So, again, his art is fantastic. The moving it's a little rigid, I'll be honest with you, but it's whatever. It gets the point across. He is fully soul boosted, but he's not 14 stars. I didn't go very hard on the free-to-play ones way back when, alright? His stats are not bad. They're not insanity, but for a defense type, which is already tough, he needed to have endurance. And the second they gave him that equip, they gave him endurance and some nice little stat buffs. We might have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who's in contention for #1 on the spot on our team. He's very, very good compared to what he was. I don't remember him being bad, though. He was fine when he came out. It wasn't like it was like, oh my gosh, this guy's terrible. He's terrible looking, but I can't say much, so, you know. He's good. Very random that we went from Super Saiyan Goku. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Super Saiyan's iconic. Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. A little less iconic. And then Omega Shenron. It's like, alright, well, I guess we just said screw it. We'll just throw in whatever. Omega is pretty cool, and I'm glad to see that they're reassessing how they make old units viable. Because it's a very important part to Legends, any gacha game, actually, is making sure that you can use things that you got in the past in the future. That's why you have Zenkai, you have EZA and Dokkan. Most games have a way to make you somewhat usable. They're not going to become top tier. He's a free-to-play unit. It's never going to happen. But at least just let me use him on my team from time to time, because he's cool. Alright, this is where we're going to start getting into units that, when they came out, pissed me off. When this dude came out, #1, he was very good. Very good for a couple of months. He's actually he's probably still usable. Like, his stats aren't amazing, but the teams that he's on, he's fine. He's on Saiyan. He's on Fusion. He's on movie. He's on movies. Yeah, sorry, movie. Why? I was like, wait, hold on. Yeah, it's not DBS Gogeta. Sorry, 8 billion things have happened in Dragon Ball. Sometimes my brain spaces and it's like, no, you didn't fight Broly. Like, he was very, very good for a good couple of months, and he probably still does a little bit of something. But this was around the time I think a lot of us, because Ultras were like pretty cool. This is Goku free-to-plays. This is the first pay-to-win Ultra, where it was like, oh my god. I think I went like 65k, and I got no copies, and then I got like 2 back-to-back. I don't remember the exact details of my summons, but I remember sitting there, I think it was around Christmas. And I was sitting there and I was just like, am I really going to ask my family for Google Play gift cards to summon for Gogeta? And then I did, and I got Gogeta. So it worked out, but but man, it sucked. And no part of that felt good. I hate that. Using up like gifts to get Visa cards. It's rough. But hey, you know what? I used him for like 2 months, and I haven't touched him in like 2 years. So, hey, that's great. He's fantastic. It's Gogeta. I mean, what do you want? It's Gogeta. Of course he's good. I had made a tweet on Twitter, X, whatever. Follow me, Bradical if you want. About how it's pretty cool that they're giving out these equips now for free. It's a bit lame that it's you can't use it till like 7 stars. Like, realistically, it's like, yeah, that's fine, I guess. You only have to pull 2 copies, but man, like we just talked with Super Saiyan Goku. Sometimes just pull 1 copy of an Ultra, and it's like, I'm gonna go on a rampage. I'm gonna go on a rampage, and you can't stop me. Now, this equip it's fantastic. It's okay. It's okay. He really didn't come back to life. If you want me to be honest with you, he really was just, he came back for like a day and a half, and then he's dead again. He was a very weird unit when he came out. He was the first Ultra. Well, I guess he's only the second. It's only the second pay to win Ultra, but this is about the time I stopped like playing heavily. Like I stopped making, 3 videos a day on Legends and all this stuff. But I pulled him first multi, and I remember I was like, "Damn, you want to talk about RNG?" I wanted to rip all of my hair out trying to get Gogeta, and then boom, Kaioken first multi. He's fine. I'll never say anything bad about him because he does lock strikes on entry. He's got little tiny things he can do, but man, does he need that equip, and man, does he need stars. And even then, I don't think I would run him anytime soon. Personally, he's on a lot of good teams. He's on God, he's on Sun Family. He's got a lot of ways he can go. He's on Saiyans, but I don't see me using him. If he's Zenkai's, and he's got that equip, we could be talking. We got a while. we got a long time until that happens. So he's a lot like Super Saiyan Gogeta. He's a whole lot. And you'll notice as we get further down this list, I started pushing further and further for 2 copies. Because 1 copy of an Ultra, it really just doesn't... It's not that it doesn't do the job. But it kind of doesn't do the job. Because you're only 5 stars. So you're not unlocking like the secondary parts of your Z ability. Now, when you get the unique equipments, they gotta be 7 stars. Which... It's a little scummy, I'm not going to lie to you. Because Ultras had the lowest pull rate in the entire game. I don't know what to say about Vegito. He's okay. He came out, and then he got annihilated by Cooler. Like, he came out, and then they released Cooler, who just, like, actually just kills Saiyans. Immediately afterwards. And he has just never seen it come up again. Obviously, he's got Endurance. He's on Saiyans. He's on Fusions. He's on Super Saiyan. There's a whole lot of teams he can be fitting on. But he needs a lot if you're ever going to see him in the meta again. Number 1, you got to have 9 stars and up. Like, there no ifs, ands, or buts. He's only got 150,000 on his defenses, and he's a defense type. Yes, he has Endurance, but so many units nullify Endurance nowadays. That doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Yeah, he was a big disappointment for me, to be honest, because I love Vegito. I like Gogeta more, but I love Vegito. He's just so suave. And then he came out, and literally Cooler was like, "Yeah, no, you're dead." And now Cooler stinks. So it's just like, well, all right, that worked out well. All right, this is the first unit, the first Ultra, that I would say I really wished I had pushed for 2 copies of. When he came out, I got 1 copy, and this is when I was in my, actually, I don't want to play Legends kind of like era. I needed to take a breather from the game, which I did for about a year. I still played it every day, but just did not make videos on it. But I really wish I had gotten 2 copies of him. His art, I can't say it's the best now, but when he released, it was unparalleled. I mean, like, look at it. Look at it! Unless you're like a Vegito fanboy, then the Vegito, the Super Vegito I just showed you got it for sure. But he was so freaking good. And I'm willing to bet he probably still kind of holds up. I don't think he's, like, ridiculously good now. Slow starter. Well, I mean, it's not wrong, but... Look at these units he's with. Bro is leaps and bounds better than like everybody he's with, barring maybe Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Slow starter. Yeah, he's definitely in my top 3 Ultras. No, I have to say top 4 because Hit exists. I have to say, I might say top 5. I can't even give a ranking to him, to be honest with you, on where he places. He's so old at this point. It's been like 2 years. Or like a year and like 9 months, however long it's been. You could have had like 2 kids by now, man. What are you doing? His stats, solid enough. Honestly, 234. He's not even a defense type, and his defense is almost Vegito's. I think the problem that Legends has is they like to... they're a big fan of saying that having Endurance makes you a proper defense type. And then they put in 17 units that nullify Endurance, and you're like... So how's that a defensive ability? if it's like Revival, that is 100% defensive. I get it, but for the most part, it just, look at the Z ability. 5-star Ultras. Yeah, okay, we were getting some unique abilities now, some gauges. We were getting some gay. I just paused my All right, I've stopped laughing. We're good. We were getting some unique abilities at this time. Like, look at this. Look at this compared to even like Super Saiyan Gogeta or Super Vegito. Okay, I did not realize how leaps and bounds he was. Yeah, he's definitely probably still usable. I don't know if you not in like top 500 or something. People act like whenever you say a unit is usable, it means you could like win first place with them. Absolutely not. You could if your skill's enough, but there's no way. Not with units like Gogeta running around and stuff like that, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And even like Super 17 is still probably better than... Probably. We're getting to the good stuff now. Now, this was the most out of left field I've ever felt with a unit in this game, besides Green Super Saiyan GT Goku. If you've watched the channel for long enough, you know why that unit's important to me. But that was probably the 1% that I was like, why? I don't even like this unit. And then I pulled him and I was like, I use him all the time, and now my channel's like associated with it still. It's been like 5 years. Still associated. Hit was exactly that. I pulled Hit and I was like, oh my god, I love this freaking unit. He's a little rough to use nowadays, I'm not gonna lie. But if he ever gets a plat, if homie ever gets a plat, we might be talking. It depends on what he does, but he came after Gogeta. Look at those stats. Obviously higher stars, so that's why you're seeing much higher stats, because I went in for extra copies of Hit and I ended up pulling 3 of him. Not on his original banner. I got him to 5, and then when he came back like a year later, I ended up pulling 2 copies back to back, and it was like, oh, it feels good. So what makes him so good is that goddamn green card that stops time, bro. Like, it just full-on stops everything, and it's just, it is such a fun ability. Because you can't use a rush, that'd be way too cheap, obviously. And you kind of have to actually, you gotta time it right, because you can get heavily punished very, very quickly if you don't time it correctly. Hit was just a lot of fun to use. Like, look at this green card. Look at this green card. That's a green card, man. He was such a fun unit. When he came out, and I was just blown back. I almost picked the game back up when Hit released. And I was like, I just need a couple more months of not playing this until my eyes bleed. I have to take it. I had to keep taking a breather, but Hit was he was so much fun. Okay, we got another one that I didn't use him at all, because I didn't pull him when he first came out. And then when his banner came back, this is probably 6 months ago? Maybe like, no, it had to have been longer, I hadn't moved yet, so it had to have been like close to a year ago. Whatever banner came back with him on it, and I did one multi and I got a copy. And I was like, we're good. And I've never used him since. Not even a singular time have I used. He is the prime example for me of once a unit kind of goes away from the meta, don't chase them. If they just pop up, great. That is inherently the problem with Ultras, though, is that the second they kind of fall off a little bit, you're never just going to randomly pull them on a banner. Like LFs, I recommend if you can't get an LF, give up. You give it 6 months, they'll pop up in your box at some point. When it comes to Ultras, nope. But LFs are a little bit harder nowadays. They've liked to stretch it out way further when you actually get the... Like, Baby hasn't come back on a proper banner. I'm waiting for Baby to come back on a proper banner. And he's just come back on these garbage banners. I'm not summoning on that. That's just trash. So, they're a little bit worse nowadays, but LFs are still easier to get. Once they start featuring old Ultras on new Ultras banners, the world will start actually healing. Until that time, I ain't touching these guys. I'm not going to go in on a banner for Rose. What do you think I am, crazy? Now, remember, a lot of this stuff is based on my personal, what have I experienced with these units. This is not strictly based on competitive. Obviously, that plays a factor. Vegeta Blue was around the time that I was like, okay, I'm going to pick Legends back up. We're going to hop back into this, and we're going to actually play this damn game. And he was so stupidly good. Like, getting your Vanish back when you make a kill, having a counter that goes type neutral, he was so stupidly good. And to be honest, he still hits like a goddamn freight train sometimes. I'll fight a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, randomly, and out of the blue, the son of a gun will just OHKO me, and I'm like, what just happened? So he should not be slept on. Is he what he once was? Of course not. The second they released Janemba, which I don't have, so I can't talk about Janemba. I can talk a little bit, though, because I did fight a bunch of Janembas. Second they released him, they just pooped right on Vegito. Vegito was around for a little while. He's still around just because, I mean, it's Vegito. I mean, let's be honest here. Fusions, they don't really go anywhere anytime soon. It takes a long time for them to fall off. Unless you're yellow Super Vegito, then you fall off immediately. But like, you just look through these abilities. Like, it's just insanity. Nullify own element factor. So that means go type neutral for 30 timer counts. And you draw a Dragon Ball. He was a lot of fun when he came out, though. I'm not going to lie. Jumping into battle, that first day that he released, and hopping into PvP, and people did not know that they lose their vanish when Vegito pops on the field. That was a thing of beauty. I'm going to be honest with you. That was like, you just hop in and you just Oko someone like that. He's nowhere near my top like 3 even, but he's a hell of a lot of fun if you know how to play. Again, he's definitely fallen off pretty hard. Plus, I only have a 5-star one. If you got like a 9-star, probably still pretty decent. Damage-wise, he's totally fine. You wouldn't even really notice his damage going down, but the game is so much more than just raw damage nowadays, so. Good, but there's no way I could say that he's like the best. My personal favorite, and it might even be my actual favorite unit. I don't know. Or it's very close. It's very close between him and like 2 other units. But he might be my favorite unit of the entire game. His ability to lock somebody in and stop that cover, just stop that cover in general. Not even just stopping cover change. Obviously, he has strike cover change. But just stopping that, it is so powerful, and it cannot be overstated how powerful it is. I don't care what any other YouTuber wants to tell you. And I don't care what your mom tells you. UI Goku will always be at least okay for about the next year. Maybe he might start falling out after that. But I would almost say he's got some of the longest longevity in the game strictly because of that lock-in ability. The problem is we're going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and tankier units while he's going to stay exactly the same. If he ever gets a Platinum Equip or a Zenkai, homie's going to be disgusting. I guarantee it. I mean, he's on Gods, he's on God Key, he's on Sun Family, he's in Tournament of Power, he's in so many different teams. I just love UI Goku. I genuinely do. And it's not even because I love the form. UI Goku's not my favorite transformation. Super Saiyan 4 is. Which might, say there's another unit that I might like more. I don't know. But he doesn't feel unfair, though. That's what I love about him so much, is that when I use him, like, we'll get to Green Gohan pretty soon, but whenever I use Goku, I don't feel like I don't feel grossed out by my plays. I'm not like, oh, that sucks, man. It feels like I still have to know what I'm doing, but then I can also just knock things out like that. Just boom, you're done. I love it. Love him. Love him, love him. I cannot, in all good conscience, I cannot say that I thoroughly enjoy using Gohan. Now, here's why I'm sad. I pulled 2 of him in the same multi. The night that he came out, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's the second one that came out a couple months ago. I was playing that and I was like, oh, I'll jump over, I'll do some Gohan summons. Did them live. I pulled 2 of him in the same multi. That has never happened to me, let alone with Ultras. And then everybody hated him. Everybody hated him so much. They still hate him. They still call him Rat Han. And I have to admit, after using him, it doesn't even feel good. Like, when you're getting your ass beat, and he just stops the combo and puts his hand up, and it's like, thank you, Gohan. I feel like I'm cheating. Like, I hate it. It doesn't even feel that great. But with that said, I mean, he's ridiculously good. Anybody that says he's falling off, I don't know. Mental deficiencies or something's going on here, man. It's like, look, I mean, 170% cannot be canceled. He's actually vile. Like, he's such a good unit. There's so many things happening at all times. But I can't in all good consciousness say I don't like that ability. Where, like, you make a misplay, and then Gohan's like, don't worry about it. I'll block his kick. Here, I drew a super for you. Kill him. And he draws a secondary ult. Ugh. He's so good. He's so good. But I feel so gross whenever I use him. I have too much to say about Frieza. So I pulled Frieza, again, first multi. I always make that joke tweet on Twitter or whatever, joke post on X. That just sounds terrible. But I always make the joke post of like and retweet to pull them first multi. And then I pulled him first multi. And it was, he is so good. Honestly, I don't see Frieza much now. I don't really know why. He's the definition of having defensive qualities. Number one, very solid stats. I only have it 5 stars. Those are some very good stats for what he does. Like when he dies, he just says, actually, I'm not dead. You're the dead one. And it's like, you're dead. That's it. He's literally the comeback king. He's even got it in his freaking name. He's the only one with that. So he's so good. They did Frieza 100% justice. Not even a question in my mind. Good on the color because it countered Gohan. Good on the team because it fit with Baby and it fit with 17. Frieza needed something. We didn't have a golden Frieza for a while. Everything about this unit was prime. And then they were like, you know what? Let's just release a bunch of Saiyans and Fusion and GT. And it's like, where's my cooler to go alongside him? Frieza's cool though. He's one of the most unique units in the entire game. Another one that I could see being useful for a very long time. Because you can't stop his ability. Like whenever you have endurance, yeah, it can be powerful. Absolutely. You can just full on like stop a rush essentially. Like it doesn't matter. Most units can healing and stuff like that. Frieza literally can just stop anything. It can't get nullified. He's cool. Very, very, not underrated. Everybody likes him, but very underused. I don't see him that much. And now we got the big, bad, nasty asshole Gogeta. So, we're just talking animations. He's a lot like Green Gohan, where I don't feel good using him. Like, I'm not even having fun. I'm just waiting for them to hit me 3 times, and then they can drop all their cards, and I can maybe get a combo going. He's not fun to fight against, because again, I'm just waiting to hit them 3 times, and then they drop all my cards. It's not an enjoyable experience. But there is no denying this man's stats, dude. Obviously, I pulled 2 copies. I went in a little bit on Gogeta to make sure I did get 2 copies of him, because I couldn't have him sitting it. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. I mean, literally, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is ingrained in my freaking brain, man. He's so cool. If you have any nostalgia for Gogeta, that's what makes him so lit. That's why I like Super Saiyan. I'm not getting into other Gogetas right now. We're talking about him. I was going to go on a whole-on tangent, and I'm like, we're at 30 minutes, bro. I mean, he's insanity. He came out, and everybody's like, yep, okay, he's number 1, obviously. Now, there's some contention points. We'll see once he falls off buffs and stuff, really how good he is. I don't think he's going anywhere for a while. I mean, GT is crazy solid in, like, I think GT's in the best spot it's literally ever been. Fusions is in the best spot that it's ever been. Saiyans might be in the best spot that it's ever been, but there's probably better spots like, you know, the Holy Trinity and stuff like that. He's just such a cool unit. His art looks terrible for thumbnails though. You want my YouTuber opinion on him? Making thumbnails with this man? He's just a giant, like, he's shaped like a Dorito chip, bro. It's like, the hell am I supposed to fit you in this damn thumbnail? That's the only negative I got for Gogeta. That's it. That's the only negative. He's so good. He's disgusting. But like I say, he's really not fun to use. Like, when you're just steamrolling someone with Gogeta, it doesn't feel that good. And when you're fighting against a very strong Gogeta, like I tried to use Broly for a showcase the other day. It's on the channel if you want to watch it. And I fought it was like an 11 or 12 star Gogeta, and it was like, oh, this sucks. I don't like this. So, you take your pros, you take your cons. Just enjoy Legends for what it is. I totally ended that recording without even talking about the 3 Ultras that I'm missing. Now, I went in hard for Janemba, and I just could not get him. I mean, we're talking like 35k. Couldn't get him, and I just gave up. I was like, I'm done. Janemba was disgusting. When it came out, he was not fun to fight. He was gross. You wanted to use Super Vegito, or Blue Vegito, and he just wasn't. No. Janemba was just crapping on everybody. To be frank, Kid Buu kind of stinks. I don't know what you want to hear from me. I have probably never fought one. Maybe I fought one right when he came out. I don't know. But if you want to use Kid Buu, just use the blue one. Just use the blue, I almost said AGL. I haven't played Dokkan in 4.5 years. Just use the blue Kid Buu. He's way better. The LF one, Zenkaium, way more solid. Broly, I mean, I want to like him, but I know he's kind of doo-doo. Like, I'm okay not having these units. Let me put it that way. I'm not going to chase a copy of Ultras. No. Maybe Janemba I would chase a copy of. But certainly not Broly or Kid Buu. No shot. That is every single Ultra. My thoughts on them. I'm going to do the LF one. It might be like an hour long. I'm going to be honest with you. So if you want a longer video, odds are the LF one will go up either tomorrow or the day after that. Yeah, the LF one's going to be a long one. It's going to be That's going to be a hell of a video, I think, because I don't know if you guys know there's a lot of LFs. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, BradicalYT. I do want to stream more often. It's easier said than done. I want to make sure I cranked out some videos for you guys, because there's kind of no point to stream if nobody's checking out the videos. You can't really gain an audience from just streaming. So I wanted to make sure I sat down and cranked out some videos for you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Leave a like, sub, all that stuff, and I'll catch you around. Deuces.